Welcome to Cape Cod Like a Local. I'm Nancy, and today I'd like to talk about the first-time home buyer process. I've talked about it before, but I wanted to go a little more in depth this time. As we know, the market is changing, and buyers have a little bit more opportunity right now. Not quite so much competition, which is fantastic. So instead of having 41 other competitors, you might only have a couple. So I wanted to bring this video to you today if you were thinking about buying a home and not sure about the entire process. I wanted to share that with you. The first thing is to find an agent that you're really comfortable with. This is someone that you're going to be sharing a lot of personal information. Personality-wise, you have to be a really good match. You have to feel like they have your back and that they're working very hard for you. Communication with your agent is extremely important. If you find that an agent isn't giving you all of those things, then maybe interview a few more others. There's nothing that says that you can't work with more than one agent until you find just that right one. When you do meet the right agent, the first document that you're going to have to sign is a mass disclosure. And what that is that this particular agent is working with you as a buyer's agent, and any information you tell them is confidential. They do not share that with the seller or anyone else, and it's an important document. It's required by the state, so we don't really have an option of signing it or not. And this is just letting you know, it's not an exclusive, it's just a document that the state requires, letting you know that whoever is signing this as your agent, they are working on your behalf. The next step is that your agent will set you up on an MLS. Multiple Listing Service is what that's called, and there's two of them if you're on Cape Cod. We use the Cape and Islands MLS as well as Pinergy. Pinergy is the service that's used for all of Massachusetts. What we find sometimes is that if an agent isn't local and they have a listing on the Cape, it'll only be found in that Massachusetts website. So me personally, I keep track of both websites, so that any new property coming on, I will make sure to see it. In your search, you've already told your agent that you are looking for a 2-bedroom home and 1 bath, or 2 bedrooms, 2 baths, whatever your criteria is. They narrow down the search so that you are only seeing the properties that really fit your area. This can be defined by town, how close you need to be to the water. The next step is making sure, actually it's a step that should have been done earlier, is to find a lender. And that lender, again, same thing, has to be a good fit for you because you're giving them a lot of information. You have to make sure that you're very, very comfortable with them and the communication is open again. Before you can put an offer in on a home, you have to have this pre-approval. That's part of the package that goes in. So you found a house that you absolutely love. So the first step is I'm going to come back to the office and I'm going to do a comparison. And that is going to show you, hopefully we get 7 or 8 houses that are in the area that you want to purchase a home. And we have some history so that it shows, I do a comparison that shows if you are looking at a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, that we're looking at that same property. One has a garage, one doesn't. We do a comparison that brings all the other properties to match what your property does. That gives us a range, and generally that's a very good range so that when the appraisal comes in from the lender, you're usually within that category right there, that you're in the range. And this is a guidance that I can give you to say, this is the range that I think that you should be comfortable with them placing an offer. Again, it always depends on how many offers there already are in on the property. There's so many details, and this is where an agent is just invaluable. You need the help to get you through the process. So you've seen that house that you love, so we're going to put an offer in. I've already done the comparisons so that you know what you feel very comfortable in offering. So along with that offer, so that's one document, the disclosure we talked about earlier, that has to be part of this package as well. $1,000 for an earnest funds. That's the first deposit that's done, and that's made out to the seller's agency that's handling the sale. And this money is deposited if your offer is accepted. If not, then there's no worries. The funds are still in your account. And then that pre-approval we talked about, that's a complete offer. So what happens, we put the offer in and we give it a certain amount of time, either the next day at 5 o'clock or 2 days from now. It depends on what the seller is looking for, and we try to tailor the offer as much as we can to what they're looking for. So we get the call back and your offer's been accepted. That is the first step, and how exciting that has happened. Now what'll happen is we have a 10-day window to get the home inspection done. This is all in that offer of all the dates and so forth. So when you're signing that offer before it's put in, you notice all the dates, make sure that they make sense to you and that you can abide by them, that the closing's not on a day that you're on vacation or something like that. So again, the offer was put in, and then you have the 10-day window for your home inspection. On the 10th or 11th day, that's when you have to say, yes, I'm moving forward. Or was there something really troubling in that home inspection that you're not so sure that you want to move forward, or do we have to renegotiate something? 99% of the time, everything goes smoothly and you move on to the next step. The next step would be the purchase and sale. That's unusually around day 14. That's where you need that second deposit. So if your bank said that you needed 20% down, this is where that 20% would go. If your bank has another product and you're only going to give 5% down, then it would be 5% down that's due on that 14th day. The next step from there is that the lender will request an appraisal, and we wait for that. So I sometimes call them hurdles or just milestones that we have to follow. That'll be a day that we have to make sure that hopefully that the home appraised for the amount that you had offered on it. If it doesn't, there's certainly a myriad of things that can be done to make that follow through. Then the closing. Generally a closing from the date of the offer to a closing is about a 60-day process. Some lenders can do the loans in much faster time, but a general rule of thumb, 45 to 60 days for the closing. At the closing, remember you're going to need some additional funds, and again, your agent would have advised you all along. Depending on your loan value, you're going to need funds for the closing costs. What this may include is the attorney fees, your real estate taxes for the future, maybe 6 months, maybe 3 months. It depends on the whole process of who's doing the closing for you. You're going to have to pay probably a year's worth of home owner's insurance, because at that point, once you've closed the loan, you will be paying your escrow dollars. You have your loan principal, then you have the escrow dollars. And in the escrow dollars, that just means they're collecting it up front, and then they're going to mail it to the town for taxes or mail it to your homeowner's insurance company. So each month they take a chunk of that and mail it to the different vendors that you have. So that's what part of the closing costs are. You're kind of building that fund for them, and then later you're just replenishing it each month. And you see on your statement that it'll detail that quite easily. Generally, a closing takes about an hour, and it's held at the attorney's office. And what will happen is the deed has to be recorded. So the attorney puts all of the documents into the registry of deeds, no matter what county that you're in. And it takes, maybe an hour or so later that you literally can get the keys to the property and it's now yours. How exciting. You made the entire process. As you can see, there's so many details to be considered when you're buying a home, especially the first time, because you don't know a lot of these things. So it's very, very important that you have someone to hold your hand along the way and just guide you to the best of their ability. So as you can tell, that relationship is very, very important. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If there's ever a subject that you need to learn more details, please just let me know, and I'd love to share my information with you. Have a wonderful day. Bye.